we got to score the ball better, and got to attack their switching better.
Hey, Bobby Manning here in New York City, where we're going to be going to Game 2 of Celtics Nets tomorrow. So follow along with CLNS Media. It's official. We're going to be at Barclays Center for Game 2 between the Nets after the Celtics lost by 11 after leading throughout the first half and stretches of the third quarter before the Nets went on a big run to close this thing. Robert Williams went to the bench, feeling a little hampered in there with his turf toe, but overall had a brilliant game that the Nets were raving about at practice again today. Nets Celtics again got 2 practices in before this next game, and the theme of the practice that the Celtics went through today was that switching.
Hey, Evan. Looked like you were struggling to kind of find your place in the offense in that first game out there, and Kemba had some struggles, Tatum had some struggles, and it was really scoring that was the issue more than defense for you guys, it looked like. Was there some connectivity issues? What do you feel like the problem was?
No, I feel like, first of all, their switching is kind of disruptive. It throws you off balance. The offense isn't the same when the guys in front of you have to switch 1 to 5. You can create some advantages with pin downs, pick and rolls, and all that, but when they switch, it kind of kills everything. So I have to do a better job at maybe creating more actions, having more energy on the floor, and just be more available. So I watched the film, and I'm gonna try to do better things tomorrow night.
Both teams now we're seeing are switching everything. It worked for Brooklyn in the second half. The Celtics were able to take advantage of it in the first half because Blake Griffin was getting caught up in those screens. And even though he did an all right job on Jason Tatum, when you look at the matchup stats, he just got destroyed by everybody else. So going to Nick Claxton, Jeff Green on Jason Tatum, those were the key adjustments that the Nets made that made Tatum a little more hesitant in that second half. The Celtics were chasing mismatches. You saw them going inside the Tristan Thompson quite a bit. And Thompson's going to be an interesting guy when it comes to minutes on how the Celtics adjust here.
We make a couple minor adjustments. Defensively, I liked what we did. Offensively, you got to get the ball popping, moving, especially them switching 1 to 5. We can't get stagnant with the ball and get into isolations. We got to move it and force their players with swagger to have multiple efforts.
They had a great game, 5 offensive rebounds, was putting shots back. The problem is, on the defensive end, he gets switched on to a James Harden, and it's just all day to the rim for Brooklyn. And he's really, at this point in his career, not the kind of guy who's going to kill someone like Kyrie inside if he ends up getting that switch. He's too slow to go up. He brings it down and turns it over sometimes. So even on the stat sheet, it looked like Thompson had a great game. He was minus 16. He was a 95 offensive rating when he was out there. And on the defensive side, he wasn't giving them much there either. So I'm going to be looking for the Celtics to go smaller. I did a short yesterday advocating for Grant Williams to go in there. That allows the Celtics to keep switching because you heard Brad Stevens, Evan Fournier today as well, Tristan Thompson talking about the need to do more pin downs. Fournier said he needs to be more involved and active on the ball and just finding shots in general to take advantage of those switches that Brooklyn's throwing at them. And the thing you're not hearing about is defense. I feel like the Celtics did a fine job defensively. Parker held his own on the switches. They held the Nets to 0 for 10 3-point shooting in that first half, so they cleaned up in that area. And I think the Nets only hit 7 in the second half. So defense, overall, it could be cleaned up a little bit, but it's fine. The Celtics' offense is where they're going to have to be better in this one. And Grant gives you a little more passing in the lane, can post up against Claxton, I think, because he's skinnier, and Griffin, certainly. I think there's comparable size there. And he can shoot. I know you guys don't love Grant Williams shooting there in the comments. I know you don't love his game as a whole, but when you look at the position chart, he has only played 11% of his minutes this year at center. And compared to his playoff minutes, especially last year, that's lower than what we were seeing last year. There were a bunch of centers in front of him. In this series, the Celtics finally have a chance to deploy him as a center, which I think is his NBA position. He can't do it much, so that may limit how much he's able to play in this league. But in a matchup where Blake Griffin is playing at center in front of you, as long as DeAndre Jordan doesn't get on the court, you're going to be able to play Grant Williams some in this series. I like what they did with Jabari Parker. I like how they deployed Evan Fournier, if he can get more looks, I think he's going to have a big series here. The other guy I want to see more of is Peyton Pritchard. He gives you elite catch and shoot shooting, and you cannot play him less than 10 minutes. Again, defense isn't the concern here. Brad Stevens said today you need to score 110 points to win this game too, and if the Celtics can get that, we'll be in store for a competitive series. So join me in Barclays Center tomorrow. Bobby Manning, CLNS Media in New York City. I got to hop on the 7 train to get to Barclays. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. I got the trains down here in New York City. Bobby Manning, CLNS Media. We'll see you then.
Hi guys, Cedric Maxwell here. I want to take a minute to tell you about Marigold Medical. I'm used to keeping my body in great shape, but with arthritis, even the most simple everyday tasks became unbearable. As soon as I called Marigold Medical, I knew I was in good hands. No drugs, no surgery, just an experienced team of caring professionals that wanted to get me back to doing the things I love. Make the call to Marigold Medical and get back to pain-free life.